to Murder Therapy with Doll Talk.
Welcome back, doll babies.
Yes, yes. It's been quite an adventure. We didn't record this Wednesday. Ashley had wedding shenanigan catastrophes that she had
Shenanigans.
to deal with. So, which is fine. It's fine. But even then, like, this has been a very eventful week.
It has.
Not only did our previous president almost get assassinated, somebody hacked Microsoft all in one week. Like, it's just been wild. Did it affect your job? The
Um,
Microsoft hack?
Not at all. So I'm gonna guess that we did not run on anything for them. However, I was off because my brother-in-law's wedding was Friday at noon. So Friday morning we went to the B&B because my birthday's coming up, and you gotta give the government your
Yay.
money for your cute little sticker that goes on your car. Um, and it did affect our B&Bs. So they met us before we even walked in the door, and we're like, sorry. So it was a little frustrating. Now I have no
I
sticker.
could I couldn't do anything like what my normal like stuff would be because we have our own drives at work for like whatever. Like I have my personal drive and then we have like what we call the forensic drive, the psychology drive and all that. And I couldn't access any of that stuff, which
Oh,
affected my job because for my patients, because I deal with the forensic population, there's a lot of legal stuff that I have to take off of court orders and stuff for them. So I couldn't access any of that. It was
oh.
crazy. Like it was wild. So
You got to
most
go
of
home.
the day, no, I stayed because as you know, I'm leaving early Thursday. I am traveling to Ohio. So the next
I'm
episode,
so
which will be
excited.
the following, yes, when you all are listening to this the following day, I will be on my way to Ohio and we will get to record together. You won't have two separate screens, so that's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Mine's going to do it actually, but I'm assuming we're not going to have like a side by side like what we have
No.
because me and Ashley will physically be side by side.
Yeah, we're gonna set up a cute little thing in my living room. I think. I mean, we could. No, I don't want to try to fit us both in here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure
And
it
then you'll
out.
get to
I've
see
already,
Aunt Sue
yes.
in the live on Sunday, and I might
Mhm.
pop in one or two. So
She will. She'll
yeah,
be in. She'll be in them. She'll be in them. I
yeah.
promise. Like, yeah. So it'll be fun. I'm super excited. Mary, Maud Mary, good Mary. Ashley has met Mary in
I
person
love
before.
Mary.
Um, you know, you know the idea. Like I haven't announced it on my platform of my business that me and Nathan have in the works because
Mm-hmm.
Doll Talk has expanded so much. But I did a Facebook post. I'm sure you saw it where I was like on the hunt for creepy shit. And I'm like, if you have creepy shit that you need to part with, I'm your gal. And I have got several responses. And leave it to Mary, leave it to Maud
She's
Mary.
a
She
go-getter,
found,
man.
I know, she has a whole box of dolls that somebody was like creepy porcelain dolls that I don't want. And she was like, "How much you want for them?" And she's like, "Nothing." And I can't remember how many is in this box, but there's a lot of dolls I'm about to get when I come to
Now, are they
Ohio.
haunted or are they just creepy?
I don't know. We're gonna figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Wait. Oh
now
God, she's bringing them to my house.
yes, she is. It's
Ugh.
fine. I'm bringing some of my dolls with me to your house, so it's fine.
I can handle the girl.
You'll
She's
be okay.
she's making jokes about bringing Ira, and I'm terrified. You guys.
Ira's not bad.
You
Ira's
guys,
not bad.
if I don't, I'm sorry for the people who are listening and can't see, but also I'm not sorry because we're saving you. She's got like an oriental white solid face. Like, I don't know how to describe her. She's beautiful, but
She
at the
doesn't
same
like to
time,
be
it's
on
just
camera.
creepy. Yeah, she doesn't like to be out of her box, really.
She has never came out of her box. She
Yeah.
she she doesn't want to be out of her box. But it's funny because so since we're talking about all my haunted items, I always have a mom story.
Oh my god, I love them so much. I love her.
I know everybody loves my mom's stories, and my mom's like, "Stop making fun of me." I'm like, "We're not making fun of you. Like, people genuinely love to hear about my mother. They're like, my mom is such, yeah, she's a hoot." But so she has her first craft show coming up. So August 2nd, and I'm helping her. So I'm off August 2nd too. That's on a Friday. And I advertised some of her quilts and stuff. Like I
That's
actually posted a
amazing.
TikTok today. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the TikTok that I posted for her to kind of advertise. And I told her, I was like, I promise you people will buy it. And she's like, I don't
Absolutely.
know. I'm like, I promise you right now people will buy it. So I was advertising like her yo-yo toys that she makes and all that. And she goes, some people on your platform want to buy this, right? And I was like, yeah, like people are interested. And she goes, well, you didn't tell them that your dolls are going to touch it, right? And that like entities or whatever is going to be attached to it. And I was like, no, mother,
Yes, they're
I
gonna touch
did
them.
not. So I tried to talk her into let me come over with my dolls and make an ad today where I would just like pop their hands in. I was like, it would be great content. She's like, no, you're not doing that. So I was like, okay.
That's hilarious. They will buy them. A lot of people love craft shows. My mom does craft shows,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom's a badass crocheter. Makes anything and everything. She's got Netsy, and Bright Star Fibercraft, I think it is, and Facebook and stuff like that. But she just did her last show, and it was at a high school. And she said, and it threw me off so much, but she said the thing that sold the most were her crocheted chickens. She makes them of all sizes, all colors.
I
And
love
she
it.
said the high school band students bought all of her chickens. And they were
I
just
love
walking
that
around
so
with
much.
these stuffed crocheted chickens just all over the high school.
I love that.
It's cute.
Well, this is like not far from Tech Campus.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she's gonna do good. She's gonna do really good. I
Yeah.
just set up her Square thing so she could take card payments today. So yeah, she's gonna do
Listen,
great. She's
she's
gonna do
so
awesome.
talented, you guys. So if you're
Hmm.
close or somewhere around that area, definitely see what she can do. She has
Hmm.
literally, Jody was in beauty pageants when she was little,
Hmm.
and
I was.
she made all of her dresses. They were flawless. She made all of Jody's bridesmaid
There was
dresses,
a couple
wedding,
that was store bought, but not many. Most of them were made. But continue.
but
Sorry.
yeah, wedding dress. Like oh god, she's so talented. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. But now my first, because I am a divorced lady and now remarried, but my first wedding, my mom made that wedding dress with my nana, and I still have it, and I refuse to get rid of it, regardless of the fact that I'm divorced, because that's the last thing that my nana ever got to make for me.
oh, I love that.
And they did that together. Like they would go to Nana's chemo appointments and sew the beads on at her chemo appointments. And then when me and Nathan got married, she made all my bridesmaids dresses. Like my listen, I didn't get the fucking talent gene, okay?
Uh,
I got the creepy, I feel energy gene. Like
I'm an empath, hardcore empath. Other than that, I am
uh,
not artsy fartsy. I can't think outside the box and be creative. I'm very black and white. It's terrible. But I
yeah.
can sing.
I'll
I got that
yeah,
gene.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
she
that
can sing. Well,
art.
I can't even sing. Like all I got was I talk to dead people. I don't know. But anywho, so we're not here to talk about crafts and stuff, although that's more
Man.
fun than murder. But
Murder.
what boy do I have a case for you today.
She is
Ashley does not
geeking.
know this one.
She is geeking for me to hear this, and I cannot
I
wait.
am. Well, I told my mom. Because I tell my mom everything. In case y'all haven't gathered, me and my mom are really close. But
Same.
she was laughing so fucking hard when I was telling her this. Like, and I'm going to try to do it with a straight face as much as I can. But yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
we
I'm
are
ready.
here. Yeah, Ashley doesn't know this one, so it's going to be really good. But and so, okay, before I even get into it, you have to know the case that I had in mind for us to do, some people probably would have known. And somehow or another, when I was going into the rabbit hole of digging deeper into that, I came across this gem and I was like, what? And I was like, there's no way that that's real. But sure enough, it's a real thing. And I was like, we are doing this. We have
Oh,
to
let's
do
go.
this.
I'm so
Yes,
ready.
yeah. So I had to put all my research aside for the other case I had in mind for today. And yes, so we are covering the case of Alan Hruby. And it's
Alan
H.
Hruby.
Yeah, Hruby, I
Get
guess.
your
I don't
inner
know.
family
I'm
guy out.
Southern.
Hruby. Or,
Harubi.
I don't know.
Harubi. I don't know any.
Hruby.
Ruby. So he came from a family of four. Okay. Now there was John Ruby and Joy Ruby. Joy also was known in the area. She went by the nickname Tinker. Um, and he had a sister named Catherine. Now, John was the publisher. Like he had a lot of background in publishing. His dad actually owned the newspaper, the local newspaper, and sold that in 1997. So
Hmm.
they ended up getting quite a bit of money. You get
For
what I'm
sure.
saying
Yeah.
from selling that. Um, they lived very comfortably. Okay. Now, in 2007, where they had all that money, John ended up buying two other papers in the area. So the Hruby family pretty much owned all of like your local newspapers. Not
Wow.
news, but you get what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So that kind of plays a role in today. Just hint, hint. But yeah. John was also the vice president of the division of the Oklahoma Press Association. So he was really big into like the news, and what would get published and so on and so forth. Now, Joy Tinker was a former school teacher. And she also wrote for the local paper, obviously, because I mean they own it, so why wouldn't you?
Right.
Aside from that, she was also a licensed private investigator, but I don't know that she actually
Damn.
practiced or anything. Yeah, they were. Listen, they're a badass
They
family
hit
because
this
even though
newspaper
the
on
past,
every element. That's crazy.
yeah, oh fuck yeah, they did. And that again, that plays quite the role in what we're talking about today. But despite the fact that they obviously had money, they were really humble people. And their neighbors talked about how they were the neighbors you would want to have. If something was going on, like if you were outside and you had car trouble or whatever, that was the family that was going to come out and help you. Everybody loved the Rubies. They weren't stuck up and thought that they were better than other people. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people really liked them. They had money, they had nice things, but it wasn't like, look at me, I have money, therefore I'm better than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, they were good people.
They didn't put themselves on a
Now,
pedestal. That's pretty nice. They were
yeah,
humble.
but I don't think that Tinker actually was practicing as a private investigator, but she had her license to do it, I guess, if she needed to. I can't say yay or nay definitely to it, but she was a wonderful woman. John was a great guy. And then Catherine, classmates described her to be really friendly. She was athletic. She was just like the Rubies got it going on. The only
They're
kink in their
fancy.
chain, yeah, they're fancy and they're good people. And they lived kind of in like the rich area of Duncan, Oklahoma. And Duncan's a small area. It's not a great big town, but you get what I'm saying. They lived in kind of the nicer. That's the place that, like, in my town, we have this area where all the doctors and lawyers live. So I usually take Colin trick or treating through and Carson trick there because they give full size fucking candy bars.
Hell
That's that
yeah.
neighborhood. You know
We,
what I'm talking
we've got those neighborhoods pinned over here too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that type
Don't
of
judge us,
neighborhood.
guys.
Yeah.
You know you do it.
Yeah, yeah, you know you do it.
You
You
do it for
you can
that
afford to
parent
buy the full.
tax.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. So, but yeah, just to paint that picture. But Catherine was a good person, and the only kink that the Rubies have in this chain is fucking Alan. So talk about Alan for a second.
God damn it, Alan.
Apparently, oh yeah, Alan is quite the gem. So Alan and Catherine apparently, I don't know a whole lot about like his really small early childhood years. So I can't say if there was ever any traumatic events or if there was anything significant that happened. You know what I mean?
Why are you fucked
But
up, sir?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Um, well, if I had to guess with what we're about to go into, I have a funny feeling that because the Rubies were pretty well off, they didn't understand how to say no to kids. You know what I mean?
No, he's a
You get what I'm
spoiled little
saying?
shit.
Yeah, he was a spoiled, entitled little fucker.
Shit.
So
Little fucker.
apparently him and Catherine were really close. He was older than Catherine. And then when he hit his teen years, he just became quite the little shit, right? So at 13, Alan got caught stealing his grandmother's car. So we're not talking
Oh
like
my
little shit.
god.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking little shit like, he's like, I hate you, mom, I hate you, dad,
Oh
and packed
god.
his suitcase because he's going to go live with grandma. We're talking like he's going to do some Grand Theft Auto, typical 13-year-old. Like, yeah, yeah, he's he's quite the gem. Now at
Mm.
15, so he still doesn't have a
Oh,
driver's license, folks. At 15, he was driving. I don't know what, but he gets pulled over for, I guess, speeding, what some sort of traffic violation, right? So when the cop comes up to the car and he's like, "I need to see your driver's license," he's like, "I forgot my ID." Cool. So the cop is like, "Well, I'll just run the tags." So he gave him a false identity and everything. Instead of just being honest and being like, "I'm 15, dude." No, Alan was like, "I forgot my ID at home." Look, it's because he didn't have one.
a whole
But
story.
yeah, yeah. So of course the cop ran the plate, and what do you know? He figures it out very quickly that Alan doesn't even have a driver's license. He didn't get arrested for this though. He just got a bunch of tickets, like no ID, speeding. Yeah. So yeah, he didn't get any
Jeez Louise.
harsh punishment for that. Yeah. Now,
Did they like suspend
in
his license until a certain age? Nothing like that? Just
mm-mm,
oh lord.
no,
Okay.
no, he just got tickets like just like you normally like if you were speeding, maybe you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was just he just got a bunch of tickets and that was it.
My
No arrest, no stop on. Of course, I don't know what Oklahoma's driving laws are. In Virginia, you can apply for your learner's permit at 15. I don't know if it's
mm.
like that in Ohio or not, and then you can get your driver's license at 16
Ours is
after
15
you
and a
get X amount of
half.
hours.
But our
Yeah,
my
it's something
hubby,
like that. It's not like as soon as you turn 15.
yeah, but my hubby, aka producer Ryan, he was a rough teenager, and I mean, this story sounds similar, but he didn't go off the charts like I'm thinking this kid did. But he got caught driving underage multiple times, and he couldn't get his license until he was 21.
Oh yeah, I think he told me that when
Yeah.
I was up there. I remember him mentioning a little bit about it, but he didn't go into like full blown detail or anything. It's
Well,
just funny when you said that this is reminding you of Ryan because when we're about to get more into his character, you're totally going to recant that statement
oh
because
god, take it all back.
he's Ryan is nothing like this.
Okay.
So,
No.
Ryan, just know I'm sticking up for you when you go to review this. Like, you are nothing like this little fucker. Just so
No,
you
his teenage years, Ryan is a great, very, very sweet, considerate, asshole-ish person. I love him to death.
I love it.
But yeah,
So,
he's totally different as an adult. But yeah, I'm just saying
yeah,
he definitely got a slap on the wrist compared like Ryan could not get his license till he was 21.
I love it because this story is just fantastic. So, all right. So, in his high school years, his classmates and peers would say, well, he's kind of stuck up and he was kind of, I don't mean this in a bad way, but the preppy crowd, except that one preppy person that's like, "Ugh, my shit doesn't stink," kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he made it very clear that he loved materialistic things and he loved money, and that's all it was about. About the only good thing out of him in school was that he won best, like the best actor award apparently. I don't know if maybe he was like
Oh
in drama
God.
or whatever, but yeah, he won the best actor award. Cool, whatever. Um, but even his coaches, like in what sports he played, was like he had huge issues with lying. You couldn't believe anything that came out of his mouth. He even had the audacity to say at one point, like, he was ranked top 5 in the state of Oklahoma for tennis. And his coach said that was a lie because he wasn't even that good at tennis. So, like, he claimed that he was going to be a model, that all these, like, magazines and people wanted him. And if you look at him, he's totally not model material.
Oh,
Let's just be realistic. Yeah,
well.
he's.
Well,
Like,
yeah. Well, okay.
no, no, I'm sorry. Even Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister
Mm.
wouldn't have jumped on that. I'm sorry, my friend. Like he wouldn't have fit there.
Yeah, no. I don't see
No.
model. It's not
Oh
popping
well,
out.
in his mind, he was going to be a model. And of course that was not true. Like he no, and even his peers was like he would tell a lot of like far-fetched stories, and you'd be like, "Sure, Alan. Sure, I bet." Um,
They just knew he was
yeah.
full of shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So in 2012, the police was called to the Hruby home, because there was a domestic violence issue going on, and who do you think that that was linked to?
Oh, I'm gonna
Alan.
guess Alan.
Yeah. Yes, it was Alan. And what did Alan do? I don't know if they finally told. I'm assuming that they told him no finally, and that did not resonate very well with him. And he attacked his mother, but he didn't just like hit his mom. He tried to strangle his mother.
Oh my god.
Yes, yes, yeah. They didn't pursue charges though. I think it was
Mama.
more of a I think that they called the police to just try to scare the shit out of him, if that makes sense.
Scare tactic for
So
sure.
they didn't pursue charges, yeah. And of course, nothing was put in the papers. Think about that. Like no media coverage was,
Well, they controlled it
no,
all.
exactly. They
Yeah.
controlled it all. So it just kind of got swept under the rug. But right after, when Alan was graduating high school, keep in mind it was like just a couple months before he attempted to strangle his mother, they decided, you know what, we're going to buy Alan a brand spanking new Jeep for his
Oh
graduation
Christ on a
present.
cracker. I can't.
Yes. Oh, well, you ain't heard nothing yet. We're just like, yeah. So, and when I was talking to my mom about this case, and I was like, what would you have done if I tried to strangle you? Which I would have never done. She said, I would have cut your hands off.
Would you not buy you a new car? Like that blows my mind.
Yeah, and not buy me a new car.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I just ripped my headphones out, guys.
Well, furthermore, my parents never bought me a brand spanking new car.
Mine
Period. Like, I
didn't buy me a
never,
car at
I,
all.
yeah, see, like, we came from the era, you don't drive a nicer car than your parents do. Like, sorry.
No, I
That's
had
not how that
to.
works.
My parents always met me halfway. That was like I went to New York City my junior year, and if I wanted to go, you work to earn half, we'll pay the other half. If you want to go to driver's ed,
Yeah.
because I know in some places it's free. It's not here. It's completely separate. You got to go to driver's ed, and it's like $300 or was. We pay half. You pay
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did.
Yeah.
They bought him a brand new Jeep, and I'm like,
Lucky
I would have
bastard.
bought him a shovel for him to dig his own grave, and I would strangle him for attempting to strangle me. But that's me, but whatever. So, all right. Now, in 2013, this isn't long after he graduates, he decides he's going to open up an American Express credit card. Except he doesn't do it in his name.
Oh
What
my
does he do?
god.
He does it in his grandmother's name. Yes. So he opens up an Amex in his grandmother's
The
name.
one he stole the car from?
And I'm guessing it's the same one.
Oh lord.
Now, I've seen different things that the grandmother had dementia, but then I couldn't find anything else from it, so I don't know that she actually was demented or not. But older people are usually really vulnerable no matter what. So, obviously she had no knowledge that he was doing this.
Side
Just
note,
just so
just
you
to let you
know.
guys know, Bank Little Secrets, we have protocols to look out for elderly abuse. So,
Oh, well, good.
yeah,
So when we get further on, you'll be able to chime in on this. So I
gotcha.
love that because um so he gets approved. What do you know? He gets approved, and the credit card comes to his address in his grandmother's name, and he decides he's going to book a 6 week international vacation.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yeah. So he used this to book a trip to Rome, Paris, and Naples, and he went. Yeah, he went. Okay.
Wow.
And he shared all of this on social media. He's all about looking the part,
Oh,
okay? He's all, yes. I don't know what he told his parents to, surely, like, if I was gone that long, furthermore, if I was booking a trip out of the country, I know my mom would be like, "Can you afford that?" That's going to be the first thing that my mother says. And if I went for that long, she would want to know why I was going that long, especially when you're fresh out of high school.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Who's
just
paying
screams.
for this? Who you going with? You know, you're still young enough to get that whole like shakedown.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't understand why there wasn't more like questioning with this or whatever. But he loved to share all of his adventures on the Twitter. Remember when Twitter was really cool? And I don't think it's like as cool now as what it used to be, but everybody did Twitter and they would do the hashtag this and hashtag that. And you know what I'm talking
My
about? Yeah.
brother used
He
to
was
do
all the
everything
time.
just hashtag like that, like verbally hashtag everything. It was so irritating. Ryan, fun fact, has
Yeah.
been banned twice on two different accounts permanently from Twitter.
So this guy's Twitter page is still up. I would love for
Ooh,
Ryan to look it up. Yes, it's
he can't get on
and
it anymore.
oh yeah, he can't. I don't have a Twitter because I never
I've
liked
I
Twitter. I
never
didn't
learned.
understand the whole, well, but you know what I mean. Like Twitter was really big during this
It
time.
was huge. Yeah.
And so he was on there all the time posting all this bullshit. Like he would go and eat at all these really nice restaurants constantly. He stayed in some extremely high class hotel. He would tell people that he only flew first class. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm sure you did on grandma's credit card, you little fucker. But anyway, he also he called himself a self-proclaimed shopaholic. And that's what caught my eye is that when I read it, it said, teen shopaholic and what he does, which I'm not going to say yet. And I was like, oh, so this was some little, teenage brat. I'm thinking like a girl because most, shopaholic is associated with females, and it was a guy. And I'm like,
Oh, I wholeheartedly think a guy could do it, but the does anybody like not ever be self-proclaimed shopaholic? Like anybody actually diagnosed as a
oh,
shopaholic?
he totally, well, you can be, absolutely. You could
Okay.
shop, there's an addiction for I'm not saying like
Yeah.
everybody has an addiction, but you get what I'm saying? Like there's an addiction for everything. He clearly had no money management skills, as well as he totally was addicted to spending money. I will say that. But he liked to brag. Like that was a cool thing to be proud of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he was using it as an excuse for his behaviors. He just liked to brag.
Okay.
Period.
Whatever.
Yeah. If you
Whatever,
get what I'm
Alan.
yeah. Yeah. So he liked to post all over the Twitter, and I have a post that I'm going to read for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So he took this. I'm going to try to show it. You see that? This his nice little
Oh,
like
his watch.
5 grand watch in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
And
what
it
a
says,
douche.
I know, it says, it's that time of the day. Hashtag watch, hashtag Omega, hashtag Eiffel Tower, hashtag Paris, hashtag France. hashtag sunset, hashtag glittering, hashtag
Oh
expensive,
my
hashtag
god.
silver, hashtag stainless, hashtag commercial, hashtag promotion. And I want to say,
Jesus.
you forgot one, sir. You forgot hashtag I'm a fucking douche. Like,
A major douche nugget for sure.
I had to. I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to
That's
read
so
that on this
off-putting. I
episode.
hate when no, ew, ugh, makes my skin
Well,
crawl.
I have friends that have lots of money, and they don't flaunt it. I'm sorry. It just makes you look like a dick when you get online and you're like, look at all my money that I spent. Like, nothing
Mm,
makes me feel good like, that doesn't make me like you. I could give a shit less. Good for you. You have money.
yeah.
But I also feel like in today's time, if you do shit like that, it can make you a target. You know what I mean? Like, oh hell yeah, there's my next house I'm gonna rob. Not that
It
I plan on robbing people, but yeah.
absolutely is. There, like people say when you leave to go on vacations and stuff, you shouldn't post anything. And like when we went to Vegas, I really tried not to, and then Ryan, of course, did it. And I'm like, well, it's out there. Like, but when I go and do stuff, like I remember when we got our Pathfinder, I used to post everything because it wasn't just a bragging thing. It was I was proud and excited. But then toward Christmas, you start seeing those things where people are like, please don't post anything under your tree because there's some people that can't afford that much. And the kids are like, why did Santa give them so much and not me? And it really resonated
Right.
with me about everything, not just Christmas. So I'm like, it is super distasteful, I think.
I
So,
think so. I
yeah.
think it just makes you look like an ass, but
Yeah.
whatever. Well, don't worry because Ryan, God, we got Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, you were so not. Alan,
She's supposed to have
Alan's
his back.
dad. I do have your back. God, he's gonna kick my ass when I'm up there. Anyway, so Alan's dad discovered a hidden credit card bill in his grandmother's name,
Oh, God.
and he is pissed. So what does he do? He calls the cops and turns his son in for credit card fraud. And they come um in the court documents because there were charges pressed for this.
Wow.
It said that well, it wasn't the court documents, excuse me, like what was in the media that they couldn't control. I should rephrase that. It said that he spent $5,000. And I'm like, you and I both know a 6-week trip to Paris alone, if like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Rome, Naples,
Italy,
that costs
like,
a lot more.
no.
Yeah. Well, law enforcement corrected that by saying it was more like $80,000. He spent that much in his grandmother's name. Yeah.
That watch alone, I
Um.
couldn't imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because it's very evident he cares nothing more than about like in his mindset. It's like the more expensive it is, the better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I hate people like that. But he pled guilty for credit card fraud, and because this is his first ever offense, they like prolonged his sentencing. It was some system basically for first time offenders. He got 0 jail time for this.
My
And
God.
at 0 jail time, he had to pay restitution. He had to complete a cognitive behavioral
Oh,
program, and he
wow.
basically got community service. That was it.
For 80 grand
Hmm.
that we know of.
That we know of. Exactly. I'm sure there was
Jeez.
a lot more, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you would think that he would be like, okay, I need to get my shopping shit under control. But no, he didn't learn anything from this because he was just right back at it all over again. Um, but then, I guess after all that happened and it was in the papers, I guess to kind of build his status back because he thinks that people like him. It's like, newsflash, nobody likes you. You're a dick, Colin. But he decides that he's going to tell people he's going to college for plastic surgery, even though that's totally lie.
Oh,
He is
God.
not going yeah, he's not going to school to be a plastic surgeon, but whatever. Now I guess he would go visit the same grandmother. This is the same grandmother that he stole the credit card from.
The
Well, he
audacity.
opened the credit card. Yeah. So he would go visit her, and old people have a tendency to leave like their checkbooks just laying out. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
my nana did that. because she would like do all her bill payments and stuff right there on the kitchen table. So she would just leave her little checkbooks out, and
Yep.
she trusted Alan, even though she fucking shouldn't, but she did. And he would started to steal some of her checks out of her checkbook, and he,
God.
would sign them and then go and cash them in at places. And between June and
Mm.
July, he
Mm-mm-mm.
spent 17,000 out of grandmother's bank account. Um, the bank caught on to this though.
That's what
That's what
I
I, yeah, the
that's what
bank,
I do, guys. I
yeah.
literally that is one part of our process. So like our members will go cash checks. We have a system, and like that bank sends us a report saying, "Hey, no, this didn't go through for this reason, or this reason," and my department physically pulls the funds back out of that member's account that already got it, um, and then we return the check. And then on the other side of things, we send a report to other banks like, no, this person's check bounced for this reason, this reason, this reason. So
Well, they contacted her and told her they felt that she was a victim of fraud. That they felt that somebody was like forging her signature, and
yeah,
they were able to go through one of the places that he cashed a check at, and get video surveillance, and there's Alan on camera cashing grandma's check.
we look at a
Now,
lot of that.
the yeah, this case with the check fraud is kind of, it's floating out there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like nothing's being done about it right now, but it's
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 just
kind of
suspected.
it's out there.
Yeah,
Yes, it's suspected. Cops aren't acting on it. And I'm assuming, I guess Grandma would have to give the okay for that. I'm guessing. I don't know, but it's just so you know, it's just kind of floating out into the check fraud abyss. Okay.
God.
Now, in this meantime, he had started going to the University of Oklahoma not for plastic surgery. He decided he was going to major in political science.
Oh
And
God.
this college is about like maybe 75 minutes, about an hour and a half away from home, okay? Um College peers said he liked to brag about how much money he would have, and he would show up with some brand name clothes, and he only traveled first class, all that, in which we already know that's kind of all Alan cares about. um he was pulled over again for another traffic violation. And instead of giving him his driver's license, I don't know if maybe it was suspended or whatever for all the shit that he had done. But instead of giving them his driver's license, he literally pulled the same shit when he was 15 years old and was like, "I don't have my ID." And he gave like this fake alias, and instead of the cop giving a ticket or anything, he just kind of went with it. So he got out of that too. He gets out of so much shit. That's
How
what
did
makes
they
me mad.
not go back and try to run his name that he gave? What is happening? What's wrong with the police where he lives?
Yeah. Well, Alan knows that he was discovered during this time. This is so he knew at this point that he had been discovered for stealing his grandmother's checks.
Okay.
And I guess the family had finally started putting their foot down with him. But it's also important to recognize that in 2014, the newspaper industry was starting to decline. Why? Why do you think that is? Think about the era.
Well, obviously, digital news was starting to happen.
We have these.
Yeah.
We have these now. Digital news was the thing. So they weren't making as much money as what they were just, 2 years prior or
Yeah.
whatever. And obviously, Alan's spending hasn't toned down. So he started borrowing money from loan sharks
Oh
and
God.
had no money to pay them back, right?
He's getting into a dark
So,
hole.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And for what? Just so you can continue to be the douchebag that you keep playing that you are?
Spoiled
Like,
ash douche. Yeah.
yeah. If he would have just finished his college path in political science, he would have made decent money, and then he could go buy douchey things all the time. But no, that's not what he does. Spoiler alert, that's not what happens. I bet you never would have guessed that. So the same night he gets the traffic violation, he decides he's going to drive to his parents' house and steal his dad's gun.
Oh Christ. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he gets into his dad's vehicle, steals the gun, and then he drives back to the campus and he sits in his dorm or apartment or whatever for a couple hours, and then he goes back to his parents' house. So he parks like a block away. He sneaks around the house. He goes in, and Alan's mom was in the kitchen, and he shot his mother in the head. It did not kill her instantly, and he shot her again.
Oh
Now,
my
Cat,
God.
yeah.
Like you think
Now,
he'd have like
Catherine,
after the first shot, like, oh God, crap, what did I do? But he shot her again?
uh huh.
Mm.
Now, Catherine, remember his sister, she was outside of the house. She was in the driveway just washing her car, and she heard something. She didn't know what she heard. But she heard something. So she went in, and the minute she entered the home, he then shot his sister,
Oh my God.
and it killed her. He waited an entire hour, a whole hour in the house with his deceased mother and
Oh my
sister, waiting for
God.
his father to come home, and then shot his dad twice.
What the
He
hell?
did, yes. He then tried to stage the house as if a breaking and entering had happened. Now, I'm assuming that this was like on a Friday or whatever.
I'm just
And I
saying
say
this
that because,
day and age, oh that stuff. They can tell like step by step what happens in a murder. Like you're just
mhm,
it's too good.
yeah. Well, he then drove back to the campus again. And then he went to Dallas with some of his college buddies to a football game. You would think that it sounds like this happened at night, but it was like, I don't know what time in the day, but it was fairly early. So they went to a football game
He
where
went and
Oklahoma
partied with his
State, I
friends.
guess, was playing. Yeah, he went to party, but he didn't go to the game. He booked a hotel room just so he could party. Like some of the friends went on to the, football game, and they all said that night he acted completely normal. He was joking and cutting up and having the best time. Like that you would have never thought that anything
Mm.
so dark and twisted would have happened. Now, the whole weekend went by, and some people thought it was a little strange because John didn't go to work, but they didn't think anything of it. Nothing, whatever. And he would go to every high school football game because he, again, published for the newspaper. So he was always at the games, getting the game highlights. He wasn't there at the high school game. Catherine didn't show up for practices. No one thought
Mm.
anything. Um, It was 9 a.m. on October the 13th. The police get a call from a very hysterical, distraught woman. And the housekeeper that worked for the Rubies she's the one that, she came to the home and she found all
No.
three of them. Yeah, I know. Could you
That's
imagine it?
horrific. Yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah, it's sick. It's really sad. Um, of course the police go, they look around the house and everything, and the only person in the family that's not killed, of course, is Alan. So what do? They know that they learn Alan's in college, so
Well,
they
sweet
contact Alan.
granny, but I don't think she.
Yeah, yeah, but Granny didn't live there.
Oh,
God
okay.
love her. So they they tell Alan, this is what's happened with your family, and he appeared to be really upset, like he was extremely upset. They take him to the police station to question him. This is when they discover that he has this pending shit. Remember I told you that was out in the abyss, like the check
The check
fraud?
fraud. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they're like, this just seems really weird because he made it appear as if he was just being a normal college kid. Because when he returned to his dorm the night from murdering his entire family, he was posting tweets online, taking pictures outside. He also left his cell phone. That way they could track him. He also took the surveillance like footage,
Of
like they
course.
had, yeah, out of the house. Like this was 100% premeditated.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Yeah. Um. they got a search warrant. They're like, this is something about this isn't. There's something just not right. So they get a search warrant. And they're able to discover based upon the tolls on camera, Alan was caught driving back and forth. And they're like,
Idiot.
why are you doing all that driving, Alan? And it didn't take much because he's such a pussy to like make him cave and where he confessed to everything. They also found in his dorm, are you ready for this? Checks, family checks, up underneath his mattress, and like a notebook where he had been practicing signatures.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
didn't work for
yeah.
you.
They said when he was like recapping and telling, this is the like event by event, like how this happened, he showed no emotion the entire time.
Wow.
None. Nothing. Now Oklahoma at the time, I don't know if it still is, they were a capital punishment state. Alan's little ass
Ooh.
was up for the death penalty. Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Um, the prosecutors said that the only remorse he showed was the fact that he got caught. Not because of what he did, but the fact that he got caught. That's all he cared about. Now the Ruby family, like the
Rubies.
grandparents that were still alive, they didn't want Alan to get the death penalty. Not because they've crossed out all communication. They don't want nothing to do with him. Their response to that was the only way for him to get the death penalty, they was going to have to go to trial, and they didn't want to do that. They said, we've been through enough. We
Okay.
have no desire to go see him. We just want this to be over. That's it. We
Fair.
don't want anything. Yeah, and I get it. I get it. So, um, yeah, he was given a life sentence. Now, this little fucker, you'll have to watch the court videos. He's sitting there in his little orange jumpsuit, just trembling and all this. You wanna you wanna know what the total was? Like why he killed them? Like the whole motive, obviously,
Oh,
was
please.
obviously to get the inheritance. He thought that he was gonna get some big inheritance. Obviously, if Catherine was alive, part of that would go to her, so he had to execute her out. He owed a loan shark 3 grand. You killed your entire family over $3,000.
Go get a fucking job. Oh my god.
Yeah, he killed his whole
Wow.
family over $3,000. Yes. Now,
Wow.
he says, I have a quote for you. Okay. Are you ready? The tears have all been real. I lost my entire family at once because of you, Alan. You fucking
Are
douche.
you?
How could they not be real? Um, it's just hard to hear that somehow I'm faking all of this. Not one time to this day has
What?
Alan apologized for what he did. Not once. Never has he said, I'm sorry. So, Alan Hruby, I
Ruby.
to know what it's like that you're not getting to wear a Louis Vuitton orange jumpsuit and the fact that
Louis
your prison
Vuitton.
chains aren't gold. How's that lifestyle going
Mm.
for
I bet he's the flashiest inmate ever.
you? My mom said she bets he's every inmate's bitch.
Yeah, I bet you he is. But he wears the
Yes.
best inmate slippers. He wears the best jumpsuit. He
Well, I do know for a fact he's having a miserable time in prison. And I say that because he wrote a letter to somebody. I have it here.
Oh, yes. Let's
What
read
would you
it.
know? Oh, well, you can't because this fucker doesn't know how to spell. He has so many misspelled words. So, in a nutshell, he doesn't say he's sorry for what he did, but his tears are real and he totally deserves the death penalty. And that just tells me he's having a fucking miserable time in prison. And you know what? I'm glad. That makes my heart feel happy.
Yep.
Not that because your family's gone, but because you are a miserable little bitch.
You're finally being held
That's why.
accountable for your actions.
Yes.
What a change of pace. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
Ugh.
And that is our story of Alan Hruby.
Ruby.
Yes.
God, $3,000. I just.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure you have questions for the girls.
Yeah, I could ponder some up. I just, oh God, $3,000. I just can't. Hi,
Right?
ladies.
Yes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, girls. We want to know, what do you think of Alan Hruby? I swear at first it sounded like stick, but
I couldn't make out any of them.
so do you think that Alan really did have a shopping? He did.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think it was an addiction or just a choice that he made?
I swear it said so bad.
I swear that sounded like those were choices he made.
Was were the murders premeditated?
Was this a premeditated murder? It was.
I heard a yes.
And then I heard, I don't know if you heard it or not, it said it was.
Mm. I wonder how
Do
premeditated
you
it was.
do you think Alan is remorseful about what he did to his family? Yeah. No.
I don't know. Part of me feels like he may be like shit. What did I do? But then like the fact that he shot both his mom and his dad twice like makes me think otherwise. Did he enjoy doing it? Like did he like
Yeah, did he? That's a good question. Did he actually enjoy killing his family? I heard slight.
I just the shooting twice makes me think that he had no remorse while in the moment. But Granny, was Granny okay after this?
Yeah, how's Granny doing? We need to know. I swear that sounded like good. Poor Granny.
I know.
And then I heard no.
Hmm.
I need to know, is his orange jumpsuit really itchy? I don't know what they said. I hope it is.
Did he turn out to be somebody's bitch in prison?
Yeah. So, is he somebody's bitch in prison? Yeah. Of course. Did you?
I heard a yes and then of course, like right after each other. Like it was a
Like,
quick
of
yes.
course he is. Yes.
Oh, that was funny. Oh,
Yes. I
um,
can't think of any others.
were his tears real? Like he says?
Were the tears real? I heard yes, but I think that's only because in his mind he was like, "I'm about to be Bubba's bitch."
Well, let's be real. Technically, they were real. Their tears coming down his face, but were there emotions attached? Was
Yes. Was there any emotions attached to the tears? Nope.
nope,
Gia, nope.
nope. That's exactly how it sounded.
Nope.
Wow. God, my mind is. Does he think these murders were worth the $3,000? Was this
Yeah. Does he
punishment
think?
worth it all?
Yeah. Was the punishment worth all the like the $3,000? No.
Hmm. Wow. That's unreal. I am gonna have to go watch the court.
I love it. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, ladies. I'll see you over the weekend.
Yeah, Ashley's going to see you all soon. We're coming. Did you hear that? We're coming.
I did it. I have to go back and listen to it. I did not.
Yes, they said we're coming. I love them so much. I knew you would like this one.
That was a good one. A little bastard. Ugh.
All right. What they got to do, Ash?
They have to go. Well, if you listen, Spotify. If you like to watch and listen, YouTube. Put it in the background while you're cleaning. Give us a chance. Thank you for the follows if you do. Thank you for the support if you've always done it. Find us on most social media platforms. MT Doll Talk. And then go check
Right.
Jody's lives, especially this weekend. You'll catch us both, including Aunt Susan. Check her out. That's Doll Talk 22.
You got it.
Yes. So enjoy. We will see you guys together next time.
Yes. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.